Welcome to the Helix. How are we all feeling? My name is James Stokes, and I'm running for local election. And I'm running for election just like you. Every picture up there has their own story, but I want to tell you my story, why I am running for local election. When I was just 12 years old, my late grandfather, who I shared the name with, James Stokes, he held a town hall meeting along with other Irish travellers in Newbridge, calling for an end to racism within the town. As I said, I was just 12. I was a viewer. I was watching my grandfather be an activist. And I was proud of him for standing up for what he believed in. 2 years later, when I was 14, and here's the shocking part, in the year 2020, sorry lads, I brought a proposal to my student council to deliver free and easily accessible feminine hygiene products. And it was successful. It had a positive impact. And due to that positive impact, I wanted to do more. So, I became an activist, I became a change maker. And I was inspired by those around me, like my late grandfather, but also the Sinn Féin activists I've worked alongside with since joining the party, many who are now running. But Sinn Féin wants to make politics work for all. And on the 7th of June, the people will have the opportunity to elect real change in their communities. And when we are elected, you and me, we are going to deliver on housing, on health, and deliver that investment into our communities. Aharja, we are truly at a turning point. I'm standing as one of the youngest local election candidates in this election, but we're all standing for election. We all want to see change, and we all share many of the reasons. I'm standing for election because I know what it's like to be locked out of housing. I know what it's like to not have this government represent your needs. I know what it's like to be continuously let down by this government of failure. But I also know that change starts here. This election is all about change, and us as candidates and future councillors, we need to make the change for our communities, but also for a better Ireland. Aharja, the 7th of June is just around the corner. In fact, sorry to scare anyone, but it's 40 days away. So, get out, knock them doors, have them very important conversations, and let's deliver that real change that our community needs, that our people need, and let's build towards a new, but also a united Ireland. Aharja, it is now my honor to introduce our next speaker, someone who I'm sure we all agree with, we are all very, very proud about. Someone who has shown huge and courageous political leadership, a woman who has changed the face of politics in the North. Everything she says, everything she does is about reaching out to all sections of the community. Whether you are from Sandy Row or South Armagh, she works for everyone equally. A First Minister for all who every day is building a shared future on this Ireland. Aharja, please give a warm welcome to Las Uachtaráin Sinn Féin, Michelle O'Neill.
Deva Harja, thank you so much for that warm welcome, and thank you, James, for that really generous introduction. I got to know James from last year at Dublin Pride, and ever since we've kept in touch. But I think if James's energy and his enthusiasm shines through in terms of his ability even to get up onto this stage and to speak to everybody today. So thank you for that, James. And I think that If that political enthusiasm is reflected in any way in our election campaign, then we're on a winning ticket. I think you'll all agree. I want to thank everybody for travelling to be here today, but in particular I want to start by introducing members of our ministerial team in the North who've also joined us here today. Firstly, we have our Economy Minister, Conor Murphy. He just loves that spotlight. Conor's moving at pace to roll out an economic strategy for the North which aims to take advantage of the all-Ireland economy, increase the amount of decent, well-paid jobs and promote balanced regional development. He wants to raise productivity and reduce carbon emissions. We also have our Minister for Infrastructure, John O'Dowd, again down in the front. John is also determined to bring forward projects and initiatives which will improve investment in the critical infrastructure projects that we need to see delivered right across the North, including creating foundations for better rural and urban communities. And we also have Aisling Riley, Junior Minister in the Executive Office, a proud Gael goer. Aisling comes from the heart of West Belfast, a proud Gael goer and an accomplished handballer, as a matter of fact, 5 times world champion. Aisling works closely with me in the Executive Office and shares a lot of the responsibilities, and I'm very grateful for that. Unable to be with us today is our Finance Minister, Caoimhe Archibald, but again, between them all, Conor, John, Caoimhe, Aisling, heading up 3 huge economic departments which are very complementary in terms of pursuing a shared vision for a better economic future for everyone in the North and also for strengthening that all-Ireland economy. That Sinn Féin is charged with these significant responsibilities at this time is both a measure of the scale of our ambition to bring real and positive change to people's lives, but also to the central role that this party plays now right across Irish life, North and South. Now, this week in the North we set a budget for the year ahead. We did so in the context of 13 years of Tory austerity and cuts to public services. It is absolutely unacceptable that despite the fact that the Tories have admitted that they have underfunded public services, they've chosen to continue with this track and continue to fund or underfund the Executive and its ability to deliver for citizens. And what that underlines for me is very clearly that we cannot continue to be hamstrung by the Tories over in London. Together we must unite and fight with one voice for every single citizen that we serve, because now more than ever people deserve strong and collective leadership. And our ministers will continue to fight for properly funded public services, transforming our health service, investing in our children's education, support for children with additional needs, affordable housing, childcare, fair pay for workers is what we are all committed to doing. Because these are the things that the public rightly demand, but these are the things that the public rightly deserve. I will not give up. I will leave no stone unturned in terms of fighting for a proper funding model that allows us to invest in services to better the lives of workers and of families. It's so great to be here with you all today, to meet so many of our wonderful election candidates. So firstly, let me say a warm congratulations for putting your name forward, to taking that step forward in terms of standing for election. Being selected to carry the Sinn Féin banner in any election is a great honour, and seeking to represent people at every level and at any level is always going to be a worthy and a worthwhile undertaking. And you are all stepping forward at a time of great transition in Ireland, a time where political change is happening and Sinn Féin is leading and shaping that change on a day-to-day basis. And all of you are here today because you're part of this important journey. The North in particular has been transformed in recent years. Myself taking up the post of First Minister really speaks to the change that's happening. When partition was designed and implemented, it was to ensure that such an event could never, ever happen. But conditions have changed so fundamentally that they can never revert to how they once were. What was utterly impossible and unthinkable in my grandparents' and parents' generation is now a reality. All of that is a result of the efforts, the activism of so many people down through the years, ordinary people that stepped forward and stood up for their rights. Because change comes in the form of many people working together in common cause. I would say to you all that none of you are on your own. You're part of a local team, but you're part of a national team. Like many of you, I became involved in political activism in order to change the society in which I grew up. I joined Sinn Féin, I later became a councillor, then an MLA, then a minister, and now I serve as First Minister. And I can tell you folks, it's been an incredible journey. And I tell you all of that because I know how daunting it is, the prospect of standing for election, to put yourself forward and to seek the endorsement of the electorate. People often talk about and speak about change makers. We are all change makers. You are all change makers. The momentous change that we see happening is not just confined to the north. I believe that we are in a decade of opportunity, and Sinn Féin will not miss this moment. More and more people are enthused by the possibility of change that these elections offer. So this is the time for the big ideas, inclusive conversations, ambitious plans to move our country forward. We have seen two Conservative parties pass power and pass patronage between them for over a century, and they have failed. Now, through the upcoming elections, there is a stark choice for people. People can have more of the same failure of Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil, or, and how exciting is this, they can have real political change brought about by Mary Lou McDonald as Taoiseach and Sinn Féin leading the Irish Government. By electing strong Sinn Féin candidates across every part of this state, we will grasp the huge opportunities that are in front of us. Because a new generation is stepping forward. This generation is making significant political and social change, and there is further to go. The next general election here will be hugely significant. We want to lead government, not just in the north, but here also. We need to fix the housing crisis. People are entitled to high quality and affordable homes. We need the biggest house building programme this state has ever seen, including more social and affordable housing. We need to protect people from the ridiculously high rents, and we need to face down the vulture funds. We need to fix the health service. Waiting lists are too long. Healthcare needs to be affordable, and it needs to be high quality delivery. Our frontline health and social care workers need to be protected, and they need to be valued for the incredibly hard and difficult work that they do. We need to support people through the cost of living crisis because people are struggling day to day. There is so much more that this government should be doing. An incremental step in this journey is the local and European elections. And Sinn Féin is running the biggest ever number of candidates for local government. That's a statement of both our intent, but it's equally a statement of our ambition. There's lots of work to be done, but always remember why we do it. We do it to genuinely improve the lives of those that we represent. We have achieved considerable positive change across this island in recent years, and so much more is yet to be achieved. The tide of history is with those who seek to build a better future for our country and for our people. Real political, social and economic change in this island is within our grasp, and Sinn Féin is at the forefront of helping to forge a new Ireland, an Ireland that is better, fairer and stronger. So my message today to all of you as candidates is to leave no stone unturned. In these last remaining days, in these next 40 days, give it your all. Most of all, have the confidence and the belief in your abilities, because you are the change makers. You are the people that are going to change society for the better of workers and families. Gur míle maith agam, gur raibh le chéile.
We're now going to have a little chat with some of our candidates. We have Luke, we have Maria, and we have Aoife. Big, huge round of applause for our candidates here. And Luke, you're just become a new dad, and congratulations to you. Absolutely fantastic and exciting times, I'm sure.
Thanks.
Well, tell me, what is your hopes for the Cork city in which your young little boy is now going to grow up in?
Yeah, so I've a little boy now, Colin. He's 6 months old, so yeah, it's great. A bit of a handful, but not as much of a handful as this local election, you know. So it's got, but yeah, like I want the Cork city for Colin is a Cork city where he can thrive and reach his full potential in, you know, where he has access to decent housing, education, and jobs. Like, that's been out of reach for so many of my generation. You know, it doesn't just apply to Cork. I'm sure you'll all have it in your own communities, you know. I also want him, you know, to have the freedom to build a future and a family for himself in his own city, in his community. We've all seen too many friends and family leave, not of their own free will, you know, they've had to leave. And that needs to change, and that's why we're all here today. We're going to bring about that change.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's also things like, I want Colin to be able to have a school place in his own community. You know, I want him to have the wonderful help of an SNA if he needs it, that he's access to quality healthcare when he needs it. And we'll all know from knocking on doors, that's not the case. That's out of reach for so many of our children. That has to stop. We're not going to allow that to happen to the next generation, and we're going to bring about that change. Finally, as well, I was lucky enough to grow up in a brilliant working class community in Cork City. We need to start building housing, of course, but communities. You know, like, I grew up in a community where people looked out for each other. We all knew our neighbours. We had great crack and great slagging. And I want that for him. I want that for my child, my neighbours' children. And what's also really important as well is that I want Cork City to be a city that doesn't fall for the divide and conquer tactics that we're seeing, that punches up rather than down.
Well done.
You know? And a Cork City that's inclusive and welcoming, you know, and that's a thriving hub as part of a new republic in a united Ireland.
Brilliant, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Look, and best of luck in not only the campaign but in parenthood. Because Maria, an onogad say is muinchar bonscala to hain to the noni and condain the me. Instu kin fueg or to the anim hontasi leve Maria harda hin fin snate natural agus jinkin ha boy latsi yanu at the chanter agus at the hondai.
Cormac got the first. Well, ta on ahasar ma vet and shut live in you. Agus tá an broder excessive mar Sinn Féin. Is ball made the Sinn Féin fa rint ma blianta inish. Agus tá tahi go me canvasá le Iarthóra ella le blianta bioga nús. Credum gurbe on Tom Ceart inish dumsa. So as I said, I believe the time is right for me now as a Sinn Féin candidate. Previously, I didn't have the confidence, and I was happy to help in the background with other people's campaigns. Being a working class person in a middle class profession can be very isolating at times, and it can bring with it its own set of challenges. So I've had to work really hard to build my confidence, my self-belief, leadership skills, and I've had to learn how to trust my instincts again. And my instincts tell me that I have more than enough of what it takes to be a successful Sinn Féin candidate.
I agree with your instincts. I think we all agree with your instincts in that one.
And I believe all of these people have what it takes too. So, As a Sinn Féin candidate, I strive to embody and model Sinn Féin values in my everyday life. As a school principal in the heart of my community, people see me as approachable. They talk to me, they share their concerns with me, similar concerns to what all these candidates will be hearing in their communities. They feel valued, and they trust in me that I'm going to deliver. And they know I'm authentic because they see I treat all people with equal respect. And these are Sinn Féin values. So, as Sinn Féin candidates here, we are in a very privileged position because we get to play a major part in making history when we'll see record numbers of Sinn Féin candidates elected in 6 weeks' time. So we belong to the largest party in Ireland, the only party with vision, a vision for a united Ireland and solutions to the housing and healthcare crisis. But a vision without a plan is only a dream, and we're not just dreamers in Sinn Féin. We have plans, and we are part of a team of competent, capable, enthusiastic agents of change. And we are led by inspirational leaders, Mary Lou, Michelle, yourself, and many others.
She had to say that.
So we can and we will make seismic changes on this island. We have to be the party that gives hope to people that there's a better way, that their lives can be improved, and we can do that. So we need to keep the momentum up. We need to knock on every door. We need to keep connecting with people, keep engaging, and listen to understand. So as they say in sport, leave nothing on the pitch. I'm a former dancer, so I say leave nothing on the dance floor, like Barry Keoghan. So, Tásúla gom go meg meg ober le mo cumráidí ó Sinn Féin an gcomharla go lua agus beag an méid is mó cólóirí a gcuin riamh.
Yeah, my who. Absolutely, my who, Maria, into my. And no, could say, Aoife, we know you're from a town like so many towns across the state that have been left behind, that have been neglected by years of Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil policy. What does political change mean for you and your community that's in that situation?
Yeah, I suppose, Pearse, like you said, I'm from a community that's really been left behind by generations of government now, and I'm running in Tullamore, and I know that on the doors, myself, my running mate Tim Farrell, what we see is young people who are literally fleeing our towns, our rural towns and villages, not because they want to, but because they've been made feel that the only opportunity for them is to move to work on a farm halfway around the world. And then we've older people who are seeing fields that they've worked their entire lives lie fallow because there's absolutely no one to take them over. And really, we know that we need different from government. What we need isn't tokenistic handouts from a government that doesn't know us, that doesn't understand us. What we need and what we deserve is a government that has the plans, the understanding, and more than anything, the commitment to allow us not just to survive, but to thrive on our own terms now and into the future.
Couldn't agree more.
And I suppose what's really encouraging for me as a Sinn Féin activist is that I know that we all know that there is a better and a fairer way for our rural communities, and that Sinn Féin will deliver if we have the opportunity. But what's really encouraging and exciting for me as a candidate is that I'm seeing on the doors that people have that same belief and that same knowledge that we can make things different for rural Ireland and for them. And I suppose sometimes people say the change comes slowly, but I have to be totally honest, as a first-time Sinn Féin candidate, it doesn't feel that way to me. It feels like there's a real understanding of what Sinn Féin can offer and the change that we can bring for people's lives and for rural communities. And that's a feeling and a movement that's only growing by the day as we get closer to these local elections. And I suppose these local elections are a chance. Our communities have given so much to us. They've shaped us into the activists that we are. And for me and for you, this local election is an opportunity for us to give back to our communities, to our families, to our friends, and to future generations. There is a better, fairer, united Ireland, and it's finally in touching distance for us, and this local elections is our opportunity to deliver on that.
Absolutely. Fantastic. I encourage you, put your hands together, just a selection of our candidates here for Luke, for Maria, for Aoife. Thank you for putting your names forward and standing for us. Let's hear for our candidates, I encourage you. And just like Luke, Maria and Aoife, I look across the room here today and I see talent, I see determination, I see vision, I see a lot of hope. I see people who are brimming with talent, ready to make the change in their communities, ready to be the change makers, as Michelle talked about. And we have a huge opportunity now over the next 40 days, an opportunity that none of us can miss. And why? Because the stakes are so high. We've heard it in our communities. You have heard it on the doorstep. People are yearning for change. They want Sinn Féin to lead. They're ready for Sinn Féin to lead. They're ready to elect you and your friends and your colleagues into local government, into the European Parliament, and as the Mayor of Limerick. I encourage you, this is our moment. But moments don't just land on your lap. You have to go out and fight for it. So let's make sure that we leave it all on the pitch. Let's make sure, as Maria says, that we leave it all on the dance floor. Let's make sure that we win the hearts and minds of many people across this island, that we get the largest mandate in local government that we've ever seen. I know we can do it. I know that you know we can do it. And together we will do it. Why? Because people want a change in government. People want a change in housing. They want us to fix health. They want us to be the party that will be there for them to support them and their families when they need it. They are yearning for change, and we are the party that will deliver it. We are the party led by Mayor McDonald that will deliver the change right across this island. We will build the largest number of houses that we have ever seen in the history of the state. We will be the party that will fix healthcare. We will be the party that will be there when people need it. And we will be the party that ends partition on this island, I encourage you. So I say to you candidates, believe in yourself, because we believe in you, and more importantly, your community believes in you and they need you. The person to your left, the person to your right, yous are change makers, and together we will do it. The establishment, they will try and stop us. They've tried to stop us before, but they underestimate what is in here. I encourage you, I'll see you on the campaign trail, and let's bring this home.
streets with the blood of children. And they've got tanks and bombs, and we've got sticks and stones, and other babies die in a mother's arms, she's crying. And when you gonna make the change? When you become what you hate. And how you gonna get your head done? There's a war outside. And how you gonna put your feet up? It's Palestine. And free, free, free the people. All our condos under your steeple. Doesn't matter anyway. Oh, it matters all the way. Say your prayers and shut your eyes. Can't you see through all the lies? As they shoot my brother's eyes. And when you're gonna make the change? When you become what you hate. And how you gonna get your head done? There's a war outside. And how you gonna put your feet up? It's genocide. And free, free, free the people. All our condos on a steeple. Doesn't matter anyway. Oh, it matters all the way. Na 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 na, 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 na 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 na. And how you gonna get your head done? There's a war outside. And how you gonna put your feet up? It's genocide. And free, free, free the people. All our condos under your steeple. Doesn't matter anyway. Oh, it matters all the way. Na 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 na, 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 na 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 na. Thank you. come off factor, become grooving up slowly. Got choo-choo, I boy, he one holy roller. He got hair down to his knees. Got to be a joker, he just do what he please. He wear no shoe shine, he got toe jump football, he got monkey finger, he want spinal cracker. He says, I know you and you know me, and one thing I can tell you is you've got to be free. Come together right now over me. He bought production, he won Morris Gumbo, he got oh no sideboard, he won spinal cracker, he got feet down below his knees. Hold you in his armchair, you can feel his disease. Come together right now over me. He roller coaster, he won early warning, he got muddy water, he won mojo filter. He says 1 and 1 and 1 is 3. Got to be good looking, 'cause he's so hard to see. Come together right now over me. Thank you.
How good were Gerard and Ethan? Massive full of boss. Brilliant lads, absolutely brilliant. Well done. You'll be seeing more of New Holland, they're called. Other tractors are available, but that's New Holland, and we have a very proud mammy sitting in the audience watching that today. So well done, lads. These were absolutely brilliant. So, friends, comrades, I'm Michelle Gildernew. I'm one of 6 Sinn Féin hopefuls running for election to the European Parliament on the 7th of June. Proud to be representing Midlands North West. And what a day it's been so far. Every speaker, how do you follow the talent and the
the energy and enthusiasm that we've seen on this stage here today. They're absolutely fabulous. So to all our amazing candidates, when you're out there knocking those doors, don't forget to mention us as well. Just I would say that we'll try not to leave anyone on the dance floor either, Maria. But do give us a wee plug at those doors as well. So the campaign is kicked in. We're all out knocking doors, letting voters know that if they want to make a real change, it starts here. It starts now. Tussian, Ahru, and Shah, and Ish. It starts now. Voters have the opportunity to make that change. It's up to us to give them a party worth voting for. We've always been constructively critical, I love that phrase, when it comes to the European Union, and believe everything should be viewed through the lens of what is best for us, what's best for Ireland, what's best for our people, for our communities, rather than the nod and dog approach taken by the parties of government to date. Government MEPs pride themselves on being the teacher's pet, on being the best pupils in the class among their European colleagues. We're offering voters an alternative way of doing politics at the EU level. And while we recognise the importance of the institutions, we are not afraid to stand up for Ireland's best interest. We're concerned by attempts to chip away at Ireland's long-standing position of neutrality, a position we are proud to hold. The Migration Pact is an excellent example of where government are happy to be led by the nose and sell out on Irish sovereignty by opting into tying the state's hands going forward. Sinn Féin are offering voters the chance to send MEPs to Europe that are more than happy to have a row if it's in the interests of those we represent back home. We need to send a strong Sinn Féin team, a powerful collective voice that will stand up for marginalised communities across this island. The EU must begin to focus on ordinary workers and families. It must be our side of struggle in addressing the cost of living crisis that is causing huge hardship in our communities, in our families. And it must also focus on balanced regional development and support our small and medium-sized towns, our villages and our townlands that are the backbone of Ireland. We need to assist them in rebuilding their communities, which have never truly recovered from the years of austerity that tore Irish towns and villages apart. The towns and villages that never really got the benefit of the Celtic Tiger, who still saw massive deprivation and discrimination in those towns. And Brexit put a sharp focus on the devastating effects of partition